Good afternoon and welcome to the Florida Firefighters Safety and Health Collaborative's FACE Team Call, the National FACE Team Call. Thank you for everybody that's here. We are going to be doing a recording this for the first time and moving forward, be placing this on YouTube. So here's what Gina told me I had to say. Thank you, Gina. Before we get started, I want to let everybody know this meeting is being recorded and will be shared publicly on YouTube. By staying in the meeting, you're giving your consent to be recorded and for your video, audio, and comments to be included in the final video. Thank you very much. I hope you stay. Have a nice, well, don't leave. Okay, is that good? Okay, very good. Seriously, we just want to make sure that everybody knows it's being recorded, and we will be putting this out on YouTube. That means that you'll be able to catch this beautiful program if you happen to miss it. We still want you to show up. But obviously, I will be continuously watching that because I want to hear Dustin's closer all the time. I want to maybe put that in my little sound sleep thing so I can listen to Dustin's wonderful voice. Thank you so much for being here. We have on the call right now, I'm going to miss somebody probably, but we've got Florida, Illinois, Ohio, Texas, California. We've got the Florida Firefighter Safety and Health Collaborative, the State Fire Marshal's Office, the FCSN. We have the Illinois Fire Institute. A lot of members from them, and a lot of great departments from around those different states. Thank you for being here today, and it's exciting to introduce to you the National FACE Team Call. We always start out with our leadership, and we do appreciate the fact that the Assistant State Fire Marshal John Gatlin is on the call. So John, let's kick things off with you, and maybe a look at the state as a whole on cancer prevention and the activities that you guys are working on.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for that. Glad to be able to be here. I am driving, so I apologize for any road noise you may be picking up. But in Florida, we were excited that through this last legislative process, we were able to double the amount of grant funds that are available from a decontamination standpoint, which we feel like directly impact cancer prevention and mitigation efforts from that standpoint. So previously that was at $500,000. Again, that doubled to $1 million. We were a little concerned, but optimistic that we would be able to use all of that money. To date, we've had about $2.5 million in requests. So we could use more money, but we know that we know the need is out there. We know that people are engaging by the matter that they're making this request. So it's on their minds. It's on the forefront of what they're doing in departments to try to take action to again mitigate these hazards. So that's the big thing that we're working through right now. Obviously, we have some new language about documenting and monitoring different type of occupational disease and hazards. So we're in rule development for those changes that were put in, that came into law July 1. So that's kind of busy right at this particular moment. So again, we're doing some real positive movement and with the help of everyone. Again, some real good things happening in Florida we're excited about.
Fantastic. That's awesome. We'll always love to hear that financial support from the state where you guys are working hard to make opportunities for these fire departments, our fire departments, to dip into that well. So thank you so much for the work that you all are doing that. Any questions for the State Fire Marshal's Office before we go to the State Fire College? Anybody?
Sam, I actually have a question. This is Cheryl. Has there been any discussion from the State Fire Marshal's Office about expanding the decontamination grants for minimum standards training facilities?
Not to date. I mean, that's something we could definitely look at. If you probably need to have some side discussion on that to identify what those needs are, and that may be something that we could look at the language that's currently out there and then the funding as well.
Yeah, because I know like in between Fire 1 and Fire 2, they're required to wash gear now. And, you know, SCBA washing, it would be nice to have, you know, SCBA extractors, stuff like that. Just a thought I'd throw it out there.
Love it.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Good question. We'll have to have some discussion and dig into that and see what our options are.
Okay. Thank you.
Great question. Thank you much, Cheryl. Anybody else? Any other questions for the State Fire Marshal's Office while we have them? Okay, with that silence, we're going to just remind everybody to please put your name, your position, and your fire department in the notes section so we can track the wonderful people that are on this call. And we're going to move to the director of the bureau chief for the Fire Training College. Whoa, easy. Let's rewind that. For the State Fire College, Bruce Gillingham, bureau chief. Sir, how are you?
Good afternoon, everybody. Bruce Gillingham, for those of you who don't know me, while I'm new to this position, I'm not new to the division. Been with the division fastly approaching 2 years. Had some very good conversations over the last couple of weeks with University of Miami, working on getting some updated data to them, working on trying to get some new up-to-date information so we can start working on some numbers and some things along those lines. As Assistant Director Gatlin pointed out, you know, the decon grant, really successful this go around. 2.5 in request came in. Of course, we've only got $1 million to be able to give out, but we received over 70 applications this year. So a lot of people are engaging in it. They're seeing the importance in it, and we're slowly making an impact, I feel, being able to provide this service to folks. Just starting to get my feet wet here. I've only been here since June. A lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts. We got some new legislation coming down. We've been really engaged in that, and just trying to keep things moving forward and keep this in the forefront and provide the information as needed. So that's all I got.
Fantastic. Awesome. Were you with the college when Chris and Alberto and they came up for the electric fire burn? Were you with them then?
I was with the division then, yes, sir. Back when they did the EV burn, I was on the fire prevention side at that time. Previously, to come in to work full time for the division, I was an instructor here at the college for several years prior to that. So I've been involved and been around for a little while. Really
appreciate the bureaus, the training college, as well as the State Fire Marshal's Office and their support on that. And of course, the collaborative effort with the University of Miami and Dr. Caban and them up there doing that science. Can't wait to see what comes from that, and certainly appreciate that support. Any questions for the State Fire Marshal's Office for the bureau chief?
Chief, I just got a quick question. So the rule development, are you handling that, Bruce, or is that going to be somebody else?
Which role specifically? We have several. Are you talking in reference like 929?
Yeah, 929, and then yep, specifically.
Development on that's being handled through the director's office. They're really spearheading the development on that. We're liaisoning to them on that end and working through the process.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you anybody else questions? Okay, with the pause, we're going to go ahead and move to the next segment, which would be the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center at the University of Miami. We've got Chelsea on and also Dr. Alberto Caban. Great to have you both on today. This is a rare moment. I haven't seen Dr. Caban. It's like, where's Dr. Caban? It's like a where's Waldo thing. He's all over the place, never here. And it's an honor to have you here today. I mean,
I'm alive and well.
You're not as pretty as Natasha. I'm just going to say that. But anyway, bottom line is we're glad to have you here, sir, and obviously Chelsea as well. So thank you so much for being here. Give us a report on what Sylvester's been doing, and we thank you again for being here.
We're very happy to, and I'll pass the baton to Chelsea in just a second. I know she has some updates too from Dr. Sally. So, all right. So, good afternoon, team. I am, as always, incredibly thankful to our Florida Firefighter Health and Safety Collaborative. You know, we celebrated 10 years this past June, 2025, marked 10 years of this initiative which began with all of you. The 10 years has gone by incredibly fast. So as of last semester, we started planning what does the year 11 and the next 10 years need to look like. So the scientists at Sylvester, with many different firefighters here from the state, have been meeting to figure out what those different projects would look like. And we're putting the final finishing touches on those different projects, including some that are gonna focus on subgroups of the fire service. We traditionally have focused a lot on our structural firefighting and want to make sure that other groups and members of the fire service are included. I just got off a call with our safety officer for the state for forestry, Larry Grubbs, where we finished a project dedicated to our Florida forestry firefighters and how we can help and serve them, which was really exciting because there's no literature on them about what their cancer risks are and their health and safety concerns. I'm thankful to Chief Gillingham, who we met with, as he mentioned earlier, to try to develop updated statistics. So you know that the current database that we maintain here in the state for Florida firefighter cancers is as updated as 2014. And so it's been 10 years now. So we'll update it with what is the new cancer experience in the fire service. And so by the end of this year, we hope to have updated statistics on what is the prevalence of it. Has FCI made a dent in the number of cancers that we see, the types of cancers that we see? Have they been going up or down during that period? I'll be launching a national cohort with fire investigators as well, so we can study a little bit about what's the exposures are before and after auditing a fire scene. And then there's a couple of really neat projects that I'm going to pass the baton here to my colleague Chelsea. And Chelsea, is this the first time being introduced to our health and safety collaborative colleagues, or?
It's not. This is, I think, the third time I've joined this meeting, which is awesome. But there are some new faces. So for those who don't know me, I'm Chelsea Kavanaugh. I'm a research associate with the Sylvester FCI team. I work with both Dr. Cabal Martinez and as well as Dr. Sully's projects. And so it's great to kind of be on both sides and get to see some of the education projects and also the epidemiology projects and be involved with both teams. I want to share a few updates on some of our projects. As Dr. Khan mentioned, we're wrapping up some as we gear up to start some new ones, so it's exciting times. Actually, as recently as today, we concluded data collection for our nutrition study, which, if you're not familiar, is the one where we're going out and looking at recent fruit and vegetable consumption among firefighters by doing a finger scan. And we also survey not only their food intake, but some other lifestyle behaviors, sleep, and some other factors. So the team was out in city Miami today doing that data collection. So now that we've wrapped up the collection, we're going to start doing the analysis, and it'll be exciting to see those results. Also, the clinical team just concluded our annual physicals with the city of Hialeah. And some other projects, let's see, our thermal study. I think last time I was on the call, I mentioned that we had this new study, the thermal study, that we were looking at heat exposure. So we're continuing those efforts. We already did round 1 of data collection in St. Augustine. So thanks so much to Cheryl and her team for having us there. And then we're working with another Central Florida department to come out, a training center, to go out and do data collection, looking at heat exposure in a live training environment. Also, upcoming is our Toolkit Fellowship. We've talked briefly before about what the Toolkit Fellowship is, but we are going to be making an announcement soon. We've selected our fellows, so we're going to be announcing those fellows publicly here shortly, so stay tuned for that. And then stay tuned for a lot more as we move into year 11. There's going to be a lot of new projects, a lot of new scientists joining the team, and so we'll be updating you and keeping you aware as we move forward. Thank you so much.
Excellent. The fantastic partnership, and we've had for years. We love that. Love what we've been able to create with the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. All the faces on here, you've probably come to the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. You've been part of what their machine is, and we're so grateful to have that relationship with you all. You're our family to us, and so thank you for always being here. You're consistently presenting. I love it. I think it's a treasure to us, and certainly I hope you understand that. So Any questions for the University of Miami Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center, either Dr. Gabon or Chelsea?
No, but thank you.
Thank you.
Amen. Looking forward to seeing you guys, obviously, in the next big thing. So for sure. Julie Downey, our second keynote is on, so we'll be starting her about a little bit after 3. We are going to move forward. Remember, I would like everybody to put your name and your rank and your department in the chat group for me as you're sitting here, just to make sure we can take account of your attendance here. And Chief Baker, thank you also for joining us. We got Chief Baker from Town of Palm Beach on as well. So very cool. We're going to be pausing for just a second, making sure I'm on track here. I believe my next, you're on deck, Dr. Crystal Sweeney. So I want to introduce her to you. I met Dr. Crystal Sweeney at the wonderful Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center Firefighter Cancer Symposium about 3 years ago. She had a question. I felt like I could answer it for her. And next thing you know, we're connected. She ends up traveling down here to visit Riviera Beach Fire Station 88 as they launched one of the most beautiful healthy stations in our county, and certainly maybe in the state. It's definitely a model. And she was visiting Chief Curd, so I got the opportunity to be there and watch her kind of walk through the paces at that fire station. She is highly involved with the fire service. She's not a firefighter, but just like Dr. Gabon and Dr. Sali, for some reason they gravitate towards us, and we want, you're the best of the best. And so I'm excited to hear that you're now with the Illinois Fire Institute, Gavin Horn's old stomping grounds. And it's great to have you. And I know that you're now a research scientist with them. So before she goes, I want you to know that this lady, she decided to take on the challenge of doing a workout for every single firefighter that lost their life in FDNY, in the tower collapse in from FDNY. She completed that in about a year, 343 losses of life. But every single one of them, as she did these workouts, she would talk about or tell about the firefighters in her lives. That wasn't enough. So you know that we made the 343 about a year ago or so of cancer losses from the towers since they collapsed. 343 firefighters from that mound that digging through that debris had died from cancer. She took that on, and she's in the middle of completing those as well. So let's give her a round of applause for that. At least somebody. I think it's worth it. It's definitely noteworthy, and it's amazing. And she exhausts me when I see her on social media. So, Dr. Sweeney, thank you for being here. You have the floor. Thank you for presenting. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is going to be the new standard for my introductions now. Anything less than this will not be enough. So, first things first, everyone can hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I make you a presenter? Do you need to be presenter?
I've just sent a request.
I just did it. Okay, look at that. Boom.
Wow. Look at us go. Okay. And now, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Continue to share. Okay. We're good?
Yes.
All right. Again, thank you so much for having me. It is such a privilege to have the talking stick at this meeting. Like Sam said, my name is Crystal Sweeney. It's been at least 1 year since my last FACE meeting, so it's good to be back. A lot has been going on in the last year. All cards on the table. I'm actually reading from a script because I've been given 10 minutes and I could talk for days about all of this. There's no way I could stick to my 10 minutes. So even if I go off script, you can just kind of yank me in with the Muppet thing. There's so much happening here at the Illinois Fire Service Institute. I'll talk a little bit about how I found my way to the IFSI, and it does involve that brief introduction 3 years ago. And more specifically, what pulled me here to Illinois. And then I'll give you a brief glimpse of our labs and our facilities. And my goal today is basically just to get you acquainted with IFSI research and the fantastic work that's happening here. And particularly, I'll focus on my role in monitoring and mitigating carcinogenic biomarkers in exposures in firefighters. So a little bit about me. I'm an analytical toxicologist, which is literally just the hard way of saying that I measure toxic stuff in the body. I did my PhD at Dalhousie University in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Yes, I'm Canadian. Thank you for joining, Jimmy. It's good to have my fellow Canadian on board. My passion is, without question, firefighter cancer prevention research, specifically biomonitoring of occupational carcinogens. And not to sound dramatic, but my entire life completely changed when I attended the 2023 International Firefighter Cancer Symposium in Miami. I challenge you to find one Canadian who wouldn't jump at the chance to go to Miami in February, but I'm so glad I did. I got a fire hose of information, pardon the awesome pun, about the state of the knowledge on firefighter cancer research. And Heather Mazurkowitz warned me, she's like, you are going to get so much information about what's going on. And she said, I want to sit beside you and watch you learn what is happening. So, and she was absolutely right. I decided that day that I'd be dedicating my entire career and much of my personal life too to fighting the cancer epidemic in the fire service. And Sam, you're right, you're the very first person I connected with. I was asking a question and you just came over and you know, here we are 3 years from then, and it's just so amazing. You've introduced me to so many people in this world. I call it like a whole new dimension. I am very grateful. And I also want to bring your attention. So in this photo, from the far left, the third from the far left in the green dress, you'll see Dr. Farzaneh Massoud. And she is the director of research here at the IFSI, and she's now both my boss and mentor. And the funny thing is, at this moment, we didn't even meet at this event. So it was pretty. And then 1 year later, fast forward, here I am at the IFSI, all geared up and ready to go into a live fire for the first time in my life. And you can completely see the joy on my face. And to this day, you know, we kind of joke around the lab. I'm so tempted to become a volunteer firefighter. I wish I had it. I wish I had it. So a little bit about the IFSI. We're located in Champaign, Illinois. And we are affiliated with the University of Illinois. It's a 28-acre training ground, or as our fire instructors call it, a playground. We have 8 different structures for live fire training. And what lured me to Champaign was the state-of-the-art research lab, and it's dedicated to firefighter health and safety. And trust me when I say I couldn't find anything like it in Canada. So in February 2024, I visited the IFSI and I was given a tour of the training grounds. And you might recognize one of Florida's own. This is David Perez. He was there during this time. We had a tour of the training grounds. They say a picture says 1,000 words, so I have about a gabillion words for you in the series of photos. So this is Gary Coney, but he answers to Shrek. He's giving us a rundown of what the rapid intervention training students were learning. And this is us watching RIT instructors. So the RIT instructors are delivering training on how to manage a firefighter mayday and rescue a downed firefighter. So very intense training. And a lot of their training scenarios involve real life situations. It's incredible. This is me getting schooled on SCBA use. And the take home moment, I remember vividly, they said, you have 30 minutes of air when you go into a fire, but if you panic, you have more like 15. So I learned quickly. This is us ready to go into the fire. These are at the time, my future colleagues. I work with them every day, Netta and Dak. And we're all just so excited to go in. And this has no caption because there are no words. But if you look closely, this is me like giving a huge 2 thumbs up inside this fire. It was absolutely incredible. And so the most amazing thing about having the opportunity to go into a live burn as a researcher is that it gives me a completely different lens to look through when I think about firefighter exposure studies. And as a toxicologist, I was super mindful about not getting soot on me. And I thought I was doing great until I looked in the mirror. So here I am, I've got soot all over my face and it's just everywhere. So the experience of going into the live burn, it really helps us as researchers. It helps us better understand how challenging it is for firefighters to mitigate these exposures. You know, it's easy for us to say, you know, sitting at a lab bench, well, you should do this and this and this. But then when you get out there, it's a completely different story. And so this is a little tour of the research lab. This is the before and after. So this was about a year before I visited the first time. So 2023, it's basically a shell of a lab. And just kind of take a mental note of those 2 pieces of blue tape. I'll talk about those in a minute. But then, 2025, in just a short period of time, we have this fully functioning state-of-the-art lab. I've got my own designated space for PFAS analysis. You probably heard it's everywhere, so we got to keep the cross-contamination to a minimum. And we have all kinds of resources to validate and develop our methods. We have a lot of fun in here. It's a dream. In fact, when I told my family in Canada that I was leaving, they were sad to see me go, but I said, this is how I described it. I said, if I won the lottery, I would build a state-of-the-art lab specifically for firefighter cancer prevention research. And I said, I feel like I have that lab, and I didn't even buy a lottery ticket. I love this picture because it kind of highlights the range of samples that we deal with on a regular basis. So I'll go from right to left. So on the right, on the far right, in the orange tube rack, you see different colored tube tops and shapes. So these are for our urine samples for long-term and short-term storage. In the middle there, you see some pretty sophisticated color coordination. And basically, this is to accommodate the different types of aliquots, the different types of dividing we do once we get a blood sample. So we have blood samples and we collect them in a bunch of different types of tubes that have different preservatives and anticoagulants. So once we get a blood sample, we'll spin it down. So for some applications, we need plasma. For some applications, we need serum. We also extract lymphocytes, and we do DNA extraction as well. So there's a lot going on. So it takes a very sophisticated color coordination to keep us straight. This is my colleague Dak measuring specific gravity of urine for downstream analyses. And the great thing about having the fire training facility adjacent to our lab is that we get firefighters, our fire instructors come in and they sit down and they just want to learn more about what we're doing, and it's great. So we learn from them as much as they learn from us. It's incredible. And so when I arrived at the IFSI, my official start date was August 5th, so I'm just over a year here. This thing was in a box on the floor, brand new. I'm not a car person, but this would be the equivalent of handing me the keys to a Ferrari. This is the Acuity UPLC Zevo TQ Absolute triple quad mass spec. That's for me for analyzing PFAS and pH metabolites. And I recently developed and validated a rapid method for measuring PFAS in human serum. And, I know there are established methods out there, and I'm familiar with them. They're a bit laborious. So this method, I kind of say it's so easy, it's like baking cookies. So that manuscript is in progress right now. We want to make it easy for everybody to have this, to make this type of analysis more accessible across the board. So as I mentioned, I'm in the process of writing that manuscript, so stay tuned for that to drop. And the newest addition to our mass spec family is this is the TSQ 9610 GCMS triple quad as well. And this is for the analysis of the volatile stuff. So the VOCs, PAHs, benzene, benzoate, pyrene, these kinds of things. Those that are not amenable to the LCMS. And we also purchased the ICAP RQ Plus, excuse me. And these are 2 Thermo Fisher Scientific instruments. The last one that I showed there is for measuring heavy metals. And so with these 3 instruments, we maximize our wingspan for in-house biomonitoring for a massive range of occupational carcinogens and firefighters. It's going to be a busy fall for me. I know. So because with installation is training and developing methods, validating methods, writing SOPs, QA, QC programs, it's a great undertaking, but we'll have it down to a science, pun intended. But the best part is I'm not doing my work in a silo. So alongside my biomonitoring program is my brilliant colleague, Neda Sayed Sajadi. It took me 1 year to be able to say that. She will be measuring biomarkers of effect. So when you think of that, you think of like genotoxicity and inflammatory markers and oxidative stress. Basically, how is the body responding to the things that I find in the blood and urine from exposures? And so what makes that so impactful is that it allows us to create a comprehensive baseline data set for each of our firefighters. And then with time, we'll start to see correlations. So, every researcher starts with a hypothesis. So there are things that we expect to see. But of course, as time goes on, time and time again, we see unanticipated correlations. So that'll be interesting as well. We want to see these correlations between exposures and the effects for the highest number of firefighters. That's our goal. And we want to inform future IFSI research on causal effects of exposures and mitigation strategies. And so this is an issue across the board for researchers and non-researchers alike is the point of causation. And to illustrate this, I remember a long time ago in one of my grad courses, we had talked about correlations that were completely meaningless. So it was something like the number of ice cream cones purchased per year was correlated with the number of head injuries from bicycle. They're completely unrelated and not causal. But so that just goes to show that just because something correlates doesn't mean it's causal. So we need long-term biomonitoring studies to kind of tease these things out. And it also helps us build a solid foundation for mechanistic data. And this is the type of data that, for example, that IARC uses in their reassessment of carcinogens. I like the saying, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. So just because we don't have sufficient data to support something, it doesn't mean it's not true. It just might mean we need more information. So I think that's a famous saying, requires more research. So that's what we're here for. And ultimately, we want to provide this biomonitoring information for individual firefighters. So right now we're working on an actual report that we can give to each participant just to give them an idea so that they can track their exposures from the inside out over time. And so our ultimate goal from a biomonitoring perspective, again, this is just a drop in the bucket of what is happening at IFSI, but for what my work pertains to, our goal is to have this, this comprehensive, I call it a 360-degree screening. So on the left, you can see most of the things that I do. I talked about those instruments that allow me to look for PFAS and VOCs and PAHs and heavy metals. So basically, I'm looking for the culprits. And then on the right, you can see things like that pertain to how the body's responding. So this is kind of like Netta's silo, where she looks at the hormones and genotoxicity and inflammatory markers, things like that. And this is our, to take all of that on, you need a strong team. And Dr. Masood has done a fantastic job of very purposefully selecting people that are able to cover, bring something different to the table. And, there's very little overlap. And so this kind of makes our wingspan quite broad. And our team is always growing and expanding. It's a pleasure to be here. And just a fun note, we literally, when we send messages to each other, we say, "Hi, dream team," so the morale is superb. It's just phenomenal. And it's made leaving my country and leaving my home and leaving my life, it's made it so much easier. It's just been a great environment to work. So I talked about these little blue lines earlier. These blue lines were a way for Farzaneh to visualize her mobile lab. So we were concerned about, what if we can't maximize the number of firefighters that come to visit our lab? Okay, well, we'll come to you. So this is our mobile lab, and it's just, well, I'll let the pictures do the talking. So this is the inside, untouched. We hadn't drawn any blood or anything yet. And I kind of found this picture as well. I kind of superimposed. This is the before. And this is what it looks like when we are in action. So this was an event in May of this year, and it was our first outing with our mobile lab, and it was incredible. This is Netta and I working with our phlebotomists. It's the Associated Firefighters of Illinois conference in May here at the I Hotel. And it was interesting because you know, this mobile lab has everything we need on wheels for us to pre-process all the time-sensitive blood samples on site, and then we transport them back for the lab for downstream analyses. So you know, for example, PFAS analysis, or extracting lymphocytes, or whatever we need to do. We do what's necessary on site, and then we transport back to the lab. This is probably one of my favorite pictures. This is Director Chief Jim Keegan. He is participating in a study, and it's his daughter that's collecting his blood samples. So it was just a fantastic day, and it was great to have them on our first outing. I love this picture too. It looks like a Hollywood scene. This is Jason Rendard. He's our program manager extraordinaire. He ensures everything runs without a hitch. It's just fantastic. So with that, I just wanted to thank you. I wanted to thank my IFSI research team / family, our IFSI fire instructors who are always helping inform our work. The University of Illinois supports us. Fire departments around the state of Illinois, very supportive and interested in our work, and also the state of Illinois. And if you have any follow-up questions or comments, please take a screenshot and feel free to send me an email.
Awesome. Awesome. So awesome. Thank you
Was
so
I over my 10 minutes?
Yeah, a little bit, but that's
Sorry.
okay. It was good stuff. It's really good stuff. Thank you so much. Any questions for the Illinois Fire Institute? I just think it's great that you were born at the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. Not your science career, but just the fact that you connected with us so many years ago, and here you are now presenting. It's a fantastic story. Any questions for Dr. Crystal Sweeney and the science that they're doing at the Illinois Fire Institute? A great, wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. I did learn a lot about your institute, and I appreciate. We definitely have you back again, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the next event. Hopefully, you're going to make it down in this year for the symposium for sure. It'd be great to connect with you.
I hope so too, and not just because it's also freezing here in Illinois in February.
Yeah. Brilliant. All right. Fantastic. Congratulations again. And we're going to move forward in the agenda. I do have Chief Julie Downey. She's calling in from FRI. She's on the thing. Please put your name and your name on the thing on the chat group. Real quick, Florida, Illinois, Ohio, Texas, Chief. We've got California. We've got the State Fire Marshal's Office on, FCSN, Fire College. We've got 15 departments: Iona, McGregor, City of Miami, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm Beach County, Miramar, North Collier, Green Acres, City of Miami. I said that already. Indian River, Jacksonville, Coral Springs, Parkland, Town of Palm Beach, Sanford Fire, and of course, your department, Chief, Davie. We always count that. Great to have Glendale, obviously, Ohio, San Antonio, Texas, and California, Newport Beach. Phenomenal group, phenomenal platform. Chief Downey with the National Fire. She's representing the National Fire Registry, and she's my boss here and helping us out here in the state of Florida, kind of get the crack in the whip and getting us motivated. So how are you, Chief?
Doing good. Yeah. Up at FRI, having a really good turnout here. And I'm just working on the National Firefighter Registry. For those of you that don't know me, recently retired fire chief from Davie, Florida, outside Fort Lauderdale. And no one really stays retired long. So working with NIOSH and the CDC and facets to work on the National Firefighter Registry. So the NFR. I'm hoping you all are well aware of the NFR, but I'll just give you just a little background on it. So it was established in 2018, but nothing really happened till 2024. And now working with some different organizations, 2025, we're making great strides getting firefighters registered, but really need your help. And I think, Sam, you have a little video. I'm overseeing Florida. Every state has different ambassadors and program manager. I'm the program manager for Florida, and we have 8 ambassadors working throughout the state to assist fire departments getting registered. But we have a little video that we'll show you.
2 minutes. Let me know if you can hear it.
How does the
Can you see
National
it?
Firefighter Registry, NFR,
Yes.
work? Every time someone in the U.S. is diagnosed with cancer, state cancer registries collect information for public health tracking. However, it's been difficult to study the relationship between firefighting and cancer. Until now, the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, or NIOSH, launched the National Firefighter Registry to better understand and reduce cancer in firefighters by matching the information from participating firefighters with cancer diagnosis information from state cancer registries. This matching process will allow NIOSH to study the relationship between firefighting and cancer outcomes over time. For example, let's say Sarah, a volunteer firefighter, signs up for the NFR. She provides her identifying information, such as name and date of birth, and information about her work, exposures, and lifestyle through the NFR's secure website and questionnaire. NIOSH scientists then store Sarah's profile in the NFR database. Years later, Sarah has retired and moved to Florida when she's diagnosed with cancer. Sarah's doctors write down information about her cancer, such as the type and stage. Following their normal process, Sarah's local hospital then sends this information to Florida's State Cancer Registry. Unfortunately, details about Sarah's time as a firefighter are not documented in Florida's Cancer Registry, which is the case for many firefighters who develop cancer regardless of the state in which they live. This makes it very difficult for epidemiologists to study the relationship between firefighting and cancer. That's where the NFR comes in. Because Sarah signed up for the NFR, NIOSH scientists can match her profile information with the information in Florida's Cancer Registry. With participation from Sarah and other firefighters across the U.S., this matching process between the National Firefighter Registry and state cancer registries makes it possible to investigate the link between firefighting and cancer. While we can't say whether Sarah's cancer is entirely related to her work as a firefighter, combining her information with all other participating NFR firefighters will help us better understand cancer and its risk factors in the fire service, which could ultimately help reduce cancer among firefighters for generations to come. To learn more about the national...
And that's it.
All right, thank you, Sam. So that's kind of the overview of the NFR. One of the new initiatives that the NFR started is the Gold Helmet Award. And that's if a department has 50% of their department or 300 personnel enrolled, they can submit to NIOSH and get awarded the Gold Helmet Award. And I'm happy to say that we have a department on today. The town of Palm Beach, Chief Baker, has received their Gold Helmet Award, and we're very excited about that. So congratulations, Chief Baker.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy to ensure that we have all the data that we need, and firefighters jumped at the opportunity to help. It's an amazing thing that we're doing here, and anything that we can do to, finally come up with some answers here and some help for our brothers and sisters out there, we're all on board. So not doing it for the award, just doing it to make things better. So we really thank you being a part of the process.
Thank you. Yeah, and you said it right. Exactly right. We're doing this for the future of the firefighters, trying to figure out why certain cancers seem to be prevalent in firefighters and what can we do to eventually prevent that from even happening. So we won't even need a registry. But for now, we need to try to get as many people registered as possible. NIOSH's goal is 200,000 firefighters, which is quite a lofty goal. Currently across the country, we have only 30,000. And so in Florida, we're working really hard to try to get that number up. And if you're in other states, there's ambassadors throughout the country, and there's a QR code, NFR, on the NIOSH website. You just Google CDC, NFR, and it has a lot of different resources, videos, posters, flyers, QR codes. So please pass that along to all your firefighters to get registered.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Chief,
I gotta say for Sam, thank you for coming through and being the absolute cheerleader. I mean, the best part about it is, we got to hear the why, right? You made the connection with the firefighters. they text me, they call me after the class. It really, really made a difference. So thank you for coming out and personally seeing to the department.
Yeah,
Chief,
thank you, Sam.
it was an honor to be there. Certainly, Chief Downey, I ran through the list of departments so quickly that you didn't realize that another gold helmet recipient, our second one in the state, just before Town of Palm Beach, Green Acres is also on.
I did not hear that.
Captain Ambrosia, I apologize, Chief Papia and Captain Ambrosia are both on also. So we have two, the second and the third in the state on this call today. And I congratulate you for getting 50% of your personal, actually better than that, registered.
Yeah.
And I know that we were at Green Acres today and we actually were able to teach the entire recruit class there. So Town of Palm Beach on point, getting after it. Green Acres is a little bit of a race there. But the second one, so we're gonna be at Green Acres Station 1 tomorrow morning to present this. And this is actually one, Chief Baker, this is actually one of Green Acres helmets. And I kind of thought they were gonna be close. So we got a helmet from them. We put some gold paint on it. Taylor Tens knocked it out of the park with a shield. So we're gonna get a picture fire there. And then you're on deck, my friend, Chief Baker. We'll be coming over there to get a photo with you as well.
Sounds great. Congrats, guys.
Yeah, great job. Congratulations to both of you.
We just signed up 6 more employees today during the recruit academy, so it was good.
I knew it.
Excellent.
I knew it. Captain Dion, appreciate your support. You were a go-getter on that situation. So thank you so much. Remember that the National Firefighter Registry is for retirees, for volunteers, for career paid, fire investigators, wildland firefighters, fire instructors. It's the biggest multilateral study that we've ever tried to accomplish here in the United States. And it could lead to major things for us in the fire service. You know, when we talk about how good the state of Florida's done with having funding for their firefighters for post-fire decon, that's not the case across the board in the United States. We should want that for our fellow firefighters throughout the United States. And this is how we get there. A national study that shows all those connections. If we want to raise the 21 cancers in the state of Florida, what would happen if suddenly you found in a national study that firefighters across the board were getting leukemia, and you had something to show that you could add those additional cancers to our 21 in Florida. So think about all the possibilities of a national study and what it could do. So I will hope that everybody in the United States will, and if you're on this call right now and you're not registered, I'm coming after you. But seriously, all the states that are on here, this is for you. And I appreciate you being on the call today. And Chief Downey, you have been such a leader. I don't know I didn't hear if you said it or not, but we were outside 10th place. We were probably 13th place in the nation only a month ago. Chief, where are we at?
We are very, very close to number one. We looked at it today. We're 40 people away from the number one position in the country of having firefighters registered.
We're 34 away because Dion just signed up 6 more.
Yes, 6. There you go. It's close. I think it'll be within the next couple days. We'll be number one in the country. So competition's on there to other states. Step it up.
Congrats to you, Chief. You've been amazing as a leader of the ambassadors here, and I just feel it's happened before. By Friday or Saturday, we're going to be there. And thank you so much. And Chief Herndon, what do you got? You got something to say, don't you?
Oh, God. I swear to God, talking to Sam should come with Miranda rights, because anything that you say can and will be used against you. I'm a third of the way through my department. So
great.
Even just kind of going around, I have the advantage of having a small department, but it can be very, very persuasive when I come in and sit there and go, here, scan this QR code. I'll wait.
Yeah.
So they're signing up. We're getting there. So hopefully we will be the, I guess, 4th gold helmet in the state. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I got more meetings next week, so
I'll drive over with a helmet. I'll promise you.
I can't wait.
All right. Any questions for Chief Downey and the National Firefighter Registry? Remember, I have something to say after she speaks, of course.
Anybody?
Sanford Fire Department's going to get at least 50%. I'm going to be working on that tomorrow. I promise you.
Do it, brother.
Excellent. Yeah, I appreciate all the help as Sam as an ambassador. Appreciate all the work that you've been doing. It's such a great cause, and hopefully in the future this will really have a huge impact.
Amen. Amen. So I said at the beginning of the call, I'll say it again. Please, please, please write this date down. September 9th, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. We're meeting with the leader of this, Dr. Kenny Fent and Dr. Julie. I said that again, Dr. Julie Downey. Chief Julie Downey will both be moderating that call, telling pretty much the same thing. So bring your personnel to the call on the 9th at 1:30 p.m. for 1 hour. We're going to have a call, similar format. I talked to Chris Bader and Gina, and we're the Florida Firefighter Safety and Health Collaborative is going to host that call just like we're doing this here. So please be on the call if you can, so you can spread the good news and bring people to the call. It may convince them to do that, right, Chief Bodine? Okay, all right, there we go. So, any final questions? We're gonna before we move to the man of the hour, Dustin Hawkins. All right. Well, I want to thank the presenters today and those that contributed. Thank you for being here. Lieutenant Dustin Hawkins, my friend, I know you've been waiting over there. I hope you didn't just go off the call. Are you still here?
I'm still here, Sammy. I'm still here.
Oh, there he is. I can't lose you. You moved around a little bit. Welcome, sir.
Hello, beautiful man. First thing I would like to say is, you know what? It is beautiful every time to see all of our family here. Even whether we have shrinking waistlines, receding hairlines, a little bit of gray up top, or none of us age at all like Diana Herndon, it's great to see our family here. I'd like to talk about something that's really, really important to my heart and really all of our hearts through different phases and seasons in our life. The reason I'm bringing it up that it's sometimes important comparatively to other times of our life is finding what our sole purpose is. And a lot of times it takes a moment to rock us to our core, whether it's an injury, an illness, a cancer diagnosis, a loss of a loved one, a new relationship, or saying goodbye to an old. We're constantly struggling for this macro journey to discover our soul's purpose. I'd like us to just take one moment and pause. Take a look across these wonderful screens, whether it's at Bader's shiny head or a pause in a moment on seeing chiefs here that are willing to inspire and reignite desire, or each one of us feels that this is a stepping stone to the next scheduled item of the day. Pause in this moment, because the real truth of our soul purpose is we're willing to stop and take a moment and give of ourselves. But how do we ignite these moments of giving to ourselves so others may live more enriched lives while enriching our own? Stop trying to achieve and find what your soul's destination is as if it's somewhere in a faraway space. It's right here in these moments. So whether it's new tactics or techniques, the real magic of what we are doing here is stopping and giving of ourselves to those that we love. So when you discover your soul purpose, it's like flipping a light on in a dark room. Suddenly, everything else in your orbit makes sense. So Sam said, Dustin Hawkins, Lieutenant, this was what I'd ask from now on. Just Dustin, just a human, perfectly imperfect, often making mistakes, and hopefully succeeding graciously. But it's not just about what we do. It's not about titles or names or accolades, even though I may debate to say it might be about how many fishing poles you have. Really, it's just the things or distractions from what's really important in life. So when you realize it's about who you become in your journey, and when you live from that place, you're going to fuel your family with strength, stability, and a vision that transfers just even ordinary moments into brilliant life. Heck, I got a picture right up here of a memory that will be one of my 20 seconds when I take my last breath of being able to fish with beautiful Diana Herndon. These are the things that we should be seeking in life, is connectivity with one another, not just working to journey to the next stop. But here's the truth. You can't walk in purpose if you're constantly drained and exhausted. Every day, if you go with that mantra of a new goal, of a new stake, of a new destination, honestly, it'll pull you to pieces. It'll tear you apart bit by bit with negativity and distractions, and even some relationships that take more than they give. That's why we're going to talk about boundaries, ladies and gentlemen. They're not selfish. They're absolutely essential. In Proverbs 4:23, it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. You have the responsibility to protect your energy, to say no to what depletes you, so you have the ability to be truly bold and to say yes, what you're called to do. Sam always asks me to tie something in with Marvel Comics because he says the Bibles and parables just don't quite stick. So with that in mind, T'Challa reminds us from Marvel's Black Panther, the same message that I give to your hearts that drove you here today. Brothers, in times of crisis, the wise build bridges, while the foolish, well, they build barriers. Family, your purpose is that bridge. And it's designed to carry you and all whom you love from where you are to where you're truly meant to be. So every boundary that you set is not something to climb over, but it's an actual plank in your bridge, taking you towards the people that you enrich and that enrich you. For the two of you in the relationship make you better because you exist. So my ask is this: when each one of you honors your calling, brothers and sisters, protect your hearts. Stop living in survival mode. Your energy changes, your relationships will deepen, and your life, well, it becomes a light bright enough that it actually can guide others. And because even the heaviest truths do carry a bit of joy, I'll give you a little Irish limerick for our carry away and homework for the evening. So please remember it. So there once was one soul that was full of fame, and it used to play life's draining game. And with the moment that they guarded their heart, they let their own purpose take part. They let their life from that moment on never look quite the same. So whether it's pausing from the busyness of the day, coming here to the face meeting and bring the best of what the fire service has to offer so others may thrive and shift the paradigm from just trying to survive, I ask that you take your homework and find the people that you truly love in your life. Remeasure and weigh the relationships that are harmful to you and guard your heart. So ladies and gentlemen, the homework tonight is to build a bridge. I ask that you live your purpose and let your light in your life shine so brilliantly that it lights the way for everyone's path that you love. So, as we always say at the end of every FACE team meeting, first off, pick a better ender, Sam. There's people with better hairlines and much more attractive waistlines, but somehow you keep picking me. But what I'll say, until we all meet each other again, no matter where that journey may be, allow your lights and your flames to be enriched and nourished. May you be healthy. May you be well. And until we meet again, I love each and every one of you. We'll see you at next FACE team meeting.
It's not happening, Dustin. It's like the Hotel California, buddy. You can check out, but you can never leave. You're here, buddy. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. Absolutely. Patrick Vesvelska, please let me know where you're from. I don't recognize your name, and I'd love to add you to our list of individuals for the minutes and stuff. You all be well. We will be back at this again for the FACE team 2 months from now. But don't forget, September 9th, 1:30 p.m. I love each and every one of you. I miss all your faces. It's good to see those that are decided to share them. So take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chief.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Ellen.
Take care, Sam.
See you, boy. Take care, Chief Chip.
Hey, Sammy boy, sorry I was late. I was doing a driver test and I got stuck, of course.
Hey, Chief, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Excuses.
Uh-huh.
Everyone has one.
Patrick, don't leave without telling me who you are, brother.
All right, I'm here.
Where? Oh, here it is. Waco Fire. Awesome, man. All
Yep.
right, got it. Thanks a lot. Are you chief or captain or?
Yeah, I'm a deputy chief.
Deputy chief. Thank you so much for being here. How'd you find out about us?
Through the San Antonio gang.
Well, I'm sorry you know them.
Yeah, I know quite a few of them.
No, it's awesome. Thank
They're
you so
good.
much for being here. Come back next time and please be on September 9th too, sir. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and I will add my email on here.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Do that for us and have a great day and we'll catch you next time.
Yep. Y'all stay safe.
All right. Very good. Take care.
You
Ray,
too.
Ray, you going to make that 50%, Ray?
Oh, 100%. Yep. I'm going to be going to all the stations. I got 3 stations and I'm going to drive out to each and every one of them.
That's good. That's good. That's the way we get it done. Face to face with the guys and the girls. That'll get it done for sure.
Oh, yeah. So I have a meeting with the peer support team coming up.
On the recording or what?
You can end it.
How do I do that? Okay, here we go. All right. And